welcome to lesson 134 for 4th grade math, and you need pages 241 and 242. They should also say lesson 134 at the bottom of the pages. This is a review lesson, so it's for scale drawing review, and we're going to go over a couple things on the board. First of all, we are going to just go through some of these measurements and just remind ourselves what these are. We'll say them together. 1 foot equals 12 inches. 1 yard is 3 feet. 1 yard, 36 inches. 1 mile, 5,280 feet. 1 mile, 1,760 yards, okay? I'll push this up just a tiny bit so you can see just the bottom. 1 inch would be like the very end of the hot dog, okay? 1 foot would be a foot-long hot dog. Okay, a yard is about the size of a baseball bat. And you think of miles as where you would see a road sign that would tell you, oh, in 5 miles, there's the stadium. Okay? And this verse is good to look at. It's in Mark 4:24. It says, take heed what you hear. With what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you. Okay, and so we want to make sure that we're measuring correctly. And this is talking about measuring things in our life, and for what we listen to, what we hear, it will affect us. But what we measure in class, if you measure it correctly, you get the correct answer. But if you measure it incorrectly, you're not going to get the right answer, and you're going to have problems, okay? So I'm going to take this down. We're going to look at decimals again. And our decimals up here, just reviewing, another way to write a fraction is a decimal, okay? And so we got our 1/10, and that equals 0.1, right? 1/100 equals 0.01. And same if we have 7/10, it's 0.7. This top number changed between here and here, but it just was in the same position when we put it in a decimal. And the same thing happens with the 7/100, it's 0.07. What does the 0 do in these two numbers, in the hundredth? Well, they're really in the 10th place, but what are they doing in that? They're placeholders. They're standing in to make sure that we don't think it's 0.1, because if there's not a 0 there, you just have a space, you would either think that the decimal does not connect with that number, or that it should be right next to it, okay? And just as a review, we've got tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So go ahead and say that with me. Tenths, hundredths, thousandths. And then there are other place values. We don't want to forget those. So we've got ones, and say them with me. Will you? Ones, tens, hundreds. Okay, if we had another number out here, it would be what? Thousands. And then we start with this. It would go 10,000, 100,000, and then it would be millions. And so it has a pattern of going up. So I hope you can see that. If not, we'll be talking about that more. And a mixed decimal has a whole number and a decimal with it. So this is a mixed decimal. It's got the whole number and the decimal, but if it just has our decimal, it's just called a decimal. All right. On the board on this side, we're looking at scales again, and scale drawings mean that we have one unit, a smaller unit representing a larger unit, okay? So in this case, 1 centimeter is equal to 200 kilometers. But what if we had 2 centimeters? We're going to do the same thing that we did yesterday. We're going to have 2, 3, and 4 centimeters. So You could be getting your thinking caps on and trying to figure this out. So 2 centimeters, if 1 centimeter is equal to 200 kilometers, 2 centimeters would be equal to what? So we'd multiply this by 2 or add 200 plus 200 and we would get 400, okay? What about 3 centimeters? Because these are all gonna be kilometers, so I'm just gonna write these in for you. So 3 centimeters. Now we're not doubling 400. Be careful that you don't just start doubling everything, okay? So 3 centimeters would be 200 times 3, or 200 added 3 different times. You could also say 3 times 2. We just put our zeros at the end, it would be 600, right? 4 centimeters, if we can do the same thing, 4 times 2, it would be 800 kilometers. You may have already gotten that. Yesterday I asked, or the last lesson I asked if you thought you could figure out 10 inches, what 10 inches would be. And if it was 50 miles and 10 inches, and did anyone come up with the answer? I'm gonna write the answer on the board, but if you came up with it, you see if you can say it before me. It would be 500 miles for 10 inches. That's a long distance, but do we have 500 miles worth of paper that we can write that out? Probably not. Most likely not. And that wouldn't be practical. So that's why we make these scale drawings, and this is what they use in maps and other things like that. So on your paper, we've got, you're finding the distance like we did yesterday. So you're going to use your ruler. Make sure you have a ruler handy for this. And you're going to, the first one is from the insurance company to the furniture store. So that's the very first 2 right there. So you're going to see how many inches it is. And this is 1 inch equals 1 mile. Okay? And so you're going to go ahead and put in the first one. I am showing that it is just at 1 inch. So it is 1 mile between the Trust Insurance Company and Ross's furniture store. So you can put that in for your answer and figure out the rest on your own. Number 2, it says draw your own scale map with at least 5 locations on it. Let each inch stand for 1 mile. So you're going to use the same scale that is in that first section and just do your own. And you can label them what you would like. And you need at least 5 locations. You can have more than that, but you do need 5. We're going to do this division on the board, and then you're going, then I will let you know exactly what I want you to do on this page. Okay? This division says 53 is divided into 6,321. Okay? Now, can we take 53 into 6? I dropped my eraser. I'm going to grab that. Okay, can we take 53 into 6? No, because 53 is so much bigger than 6. But can we take 53 into 63? And yes, we can. So we are going to just go into 63. And because there's only a 10 number difference, I'm just going to put the 1 up there. And so we're going to put 53 and bring down a 10. Is 10 smaller than 53? Remember our steps? Divide, multiply, compare. I'm missing. Divide, multiply, subtract, compare. bring down, I'm sorry about that. I got a little confused. So we've divided, we multiplied, we subtracted, now we compare. Is 10 smaller than 53? Yes, it is. So we can just bring down the next number, which is a 2. Now don't bring down more than one number at a time, because we want to make sure that we're not, that we do it one step at a time. All right, so 53 into 102. Now, does anybody know what 50 times 2 is? 50 times 2 is 100, okay? But we have a 3 here and a 2 there. So 2 times, if we put a 2 up here, 2 times 3 is going to give us 6. So I think it's going to be too big. So we better do 1 time. Okay, 1 times 53. And we're going to subtract this. So we're going to borrow. All right, make sure. So it's a 12 minus 3. And that's going to be a 9. And then 9 minus 5 is a 4. Okay, so we have 49. I'll tilt that down so you can see it. Okay, 49, is 49 smaller than 53? Yes, it is, okay? So we're going to bring down our 1. Now we're going to take 53 into 491. Now it is going to be bigger than 1 because we've got 400 here, okay? So let's take 5 and think 5 into 49. How many times does 5 go into 49? Yes, it goes in 9 times. Let's try 9. Okay, if we're wrong, we'll go back. Okay, 9 times 3 is 27. Carry the 2. 9 times 5 plus 2. So it's 45 plus 2 is 47. Okay, we're going to subtract this. 11, we make this an 8 because notice if we take the 9 down to 8, we can subtract that now. So 11 minus 7 is 4. 8 minus 7 is 1. And we have a remainder of 14. Okay. Last step is that we are going to check. So we're going to have 119, our number up here. We're going to multiply by 53. And then we'll add our remainder. Okay, 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 1 plus 2 is 5. 3 times 1 is 3. 5 times, oh, we have to put our 0. 5 times 9 is 45. Carry the 4. 5 times 1 plus 4 is 9. And then 5 times 1 is 5. Okay? We have 7, 10. 9 plus 4 is 13. Carry the 1, and that's a 6. Now we have to add our 14 to our number. 4 plus 7 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. And then 3 and 6. And do our numbers match up? Yes, they do. So we can put a check and show that we did that correctly. So what I want you to do is go ahead and do on the first page, you can do all except for C in the divide and check, okay? So just that last green, the last problem is a green problem. I'll let you take that one off. In the sections 4 through 7 on the back of the page, if you'll take a look, I want you to pick 2 from section 4. So you can put a little 2 to show that you're going to pick 2. 1 from section 5. 2 from sections 6 and 7. Okay? And then there is the homework that you're going to do, just section 8. And do your best with that. And we will see you next time.